The governor calls it a win for voters now that a federal judge has struck down early voting restrictions put in place during a lame duck session late last year.
A death investigation is underway in Marshall after a body was found in a cornfield this morning.
And a man found dead outside a Sauk County casino is being remembered tonight for his kindness and generosity as police continue to search for the person who killed him.
This is News 3 at 6.
Thanks for joining us. Liberal groups are applauding a judge's ruling tonight striking down limits on early voting.
These were provisions passed by the Republican-controlled state legislature last year. Rose Schmidt is live at the Capitol with the latest. Rose?
Yes, well, Governor Evers says he is glad that those provisions were thrown out. He tweeted earlier tonight that Wisconsin should be making it more easy for people to vote, not more difficult. The lame duck law passed last year limits early voting to about 2 weeks before an election. Federal Judge James Peterson ruled today that the provisions violate injunctions issued in 2016. During the lame duck session, Republican leaders argued that their laws standardized early voting, making it more fair for smaller conservative communities. But one Wisconsin Institute argues that it should be up to communities to decide how long they want to allow early voting.
We're very encouraged by it, and I think this is a great ruling. Not just for us as an organization, but, for Wisconsin voters in general.
Assembly Speaker Robin Vos answered a question I shouted at him as he walked down the hallway. He jokingly told me, surprise, surprise, that a, quote, liberal judge would strike down that ruling. Now, it is still unclear tonight whether or not that judge's decision will try to be appealed.
Rose Schmidt reporting tonight. Rose, thank you.
City of Beloit has issued a snow emergency. It'll go into effect tomorrow night at 5 as a powerful snow system is expected in the region. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti is tracking that system. Gary, what can we expect?
Well, about this time tomorrow, we should see pretty steady snow across much of southern Wisconsin. That will continue through tomorrow night. Now, right now, we have some flurries, mainly from about Madison eastward. Just a couple of flakes of snow falling here in the backyard. Most of that will be over with this evening, but it's the snow tomorrow, late tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow night and early on Saturday that will probably accumulate somewhere in the neighborhood of about 4 to 7 inches south of Dane County, about 2 to 5 inches in and around the Madison area, with lesser amounts of an inch or two farther up to the north. Low temperatures this morning started out in the teens to the lower 20s. High temperatures today still a little bit above average in the lower 30s. Of course, not having snow on the ground here helps, but that will change over the next few days. Current temperatures are in the upper 20s, and by tomorrow morning, look for temperatures to drop into the upper teens. The skies at least partially clear out overnight. We'll see the clouds move back in tomorrow, and snow will be developing west of Madison by late in the afternoon with a high of 26. Later on, I'll take a look at how cold it'll get in the wake of the snow.
Gary, thank you. Multiple agencies are investigating a death in Marshall this evening. A body was found there in a field this morning. Keely Arthur joins us live with the story. Keely?
We are here in Marshall, just outside this mobile home park. It's a private property, but about 3 blocks in is an extensive police investigation because a body was found nearby this morning. At around 9 a.m., police responded to reports of a suspicious vehicle in the Evergreen Mobile Home Park. An hour after that, a body was found in a field adjacent to the complex. Now, police say the two are connected. A high school nearby was put on soft lockdown today as a result. The Department of Criminal Investigation, Dane County Sheriff's Department, and Cottage Grove PD are assisting on the case. Police would not say if Kurt Myers, a missing Cottage Grove man who's been gone since Saturday, is connected to this case. And I just spoke with Marshall Police Chief John Nault. He couldn't give any more details as for the manner or death or cause of death, but we'll be sure to keep you updated on any changes on channel3000.com and on News 3 at 10.
Keely, thank you.
We're learning more about the man killed outside a Sauk County casino this week. Police say 88-year-old Harold Johnson was found on Monday. According to an obituary, he worked for the U.S. Postal Service in Portage for 26 years, spent nearly 20 years at Odessa Auto Auction. Family members describe him as a kind, generous, honest, and Christian man. Johnson was reported missing Monday morning. He was found dead inside his vehicle that afternoon in a parking lot behind Ho Chunk Casino and Convention Center on County Road BD. Police are looking for 68-year-old Robert Pulvermacher. A warrant has been issued for his arrest. He was reportedly seen in Madison Tuesday afternoon, but police were not able to locate him. Pulvermacher has an extensive criminal past in Wisconsin, including escaping from a federal federal prison in 1998. He lives in rural Middleton. If you see him, police ask you to call 911. The man charged with kidnapping Wisconsin teen Jamie Clausen, killing her parents, apparently applied for a job the day she escaped. He also allegedly lied about his work experience on that application. In a resume provided by Saratoga Liquor Company, Jake Patterson said he spent 9 months in the Marines. The Marines said Patterson washed out after 5 weeks of basic training. Police say Patterson killed James and Denise Kloss October 15th in their home in Barron in order to abduct Jamie. She was able to escape last week and run for help.
Military flight maneuvers at Truax Field today caused a sonic boom in Portage. Officials say they received multiple calls around 1:40 this afternoon. Police said there is no emergency in relation to the boom. Assembly Republicans are pushing a 10% income tax cut, but they say this is similar to what the governor says he wants for middle-class families.
Now, where the sides differ is how to pay for it. The governor says he wants to reduce a corporate tax cut program by about $340 million. Republicans say they'd prefer to pay for it using a state budget surplus.
We look at the surplus and know that almost $600 million is there. There's two options to do that. You can either choose to give it back to the taxpayers or you can choose to spend it. Well, certainly we want to give it back to the taxpayers, and that's why there's no need to raise taxes on anybody in Wisconsin.
Governor says he wants to cap tax breaks under a manufacturing and agriculture credit program created by Republicans. He also faults Republicans for rejecting federal money to pay for Medicaid expansion. Wisconsin's unemployment rate remains at 3%. This is the 11th straight month that it's been at this level or lower. The state also gained more than 9,000 private sector jobs between November and December.
A chemical that's linked to 21,000 deaths every year could be in your child's school without you or administrators knowing. We've talked before about radon on this program. It's an odorless, colorless gas that you don't know is around unless you test for it. It's very prevalent in the Midwest because of the minerals in our soil, and the EPA recommends schools test for it every 2 to 5 years. Failing to do so could allow radon to go undetected and unmitigated, increasing the risk for lung cancer later in life.
It's important for schools to be testing because we want to reduce your overall exposure to radon throughout your lifetime because lung cancer is a later stage of life disease, and if you can reduce your exposure at home and places where you spend a significant amount of time, I think we should be doing that.
Amy Reed sat down with a family who's made it their life's work to protect other families like yours from the dangers of radon. She'll share that conversation and share more about schools testing for it tonight on News 3 at 10. An area nonprofit is distancing themselves from the YMCA of Northern Rock County.
The concerns they have regarding transparency and financial practices, that story and more next on News 3 at 6.
There's some tension between the YMCA of Rock County and the Janesville community.
Some are worried about transparency at the Y after some members were banned. Adam Duxter has been following the story since December. Joins us live now at our Rock County Bureau with the latest. Adam?
Well, Eric and Charlotte, almost a month ago today, 52 people from this Rock County area signed off on a letter to the YMCA Board of Directors expressing their concerns. And since then, the president of the board has stepped down, and now some area nonprofits are distancing themselves from the Y altogether. For years, the Boys and Girls Club of Janesville has shared a roof with the YMCA of Northern Rock County.
You just can't have a bad day here. It's not possible.
Today, the club's executive director is making it clear that roof is all the two share.
These two organizations, they share a building, they must share some finances, they must share resources, and actually that's not the case. Even though our logos are out there side by side on the building, we really are two separate organizations.
About a month ago, a group of leaders from across the county penned a letter to the Y demanding transparency. This comes after members who asked questions about the Y's finances found themselves banned from the property. Paul Murphy was banned months ago. He says he's seeing more support each day.
People are calling and saying, thanks for doing this. Here's my story.
The Boys and Girls Club is not the only local nonprofit taking action against the Y. United Way Blackhawk Region also says they will bar the Y's funding. In a statement, the group's president and CEO says the Community Impact Council voted unanimously to deny the Y's application, and that the validity of the application itself was in question.
When an organization like United Way has made a very difficult decision like they did, I got a feeling that the tide is turning. The mess is made, then we got to come back as a community and show what Janesville's all about. And we put this behind us and we go forward.
And Sarah Stinsky of the Boys and Girls Club of Janesville says that normally when Boys and Girls Clubs share a space with the YMCA and other communities, that relationship goes pretty well hand in hand. But she said during her time here, that has not been the case. And I made multiple attempts to get a hold of the CEO of the YMCA of Northern Rock County. That's Tom Denbor. But each time I try to contact him, I'm told he's not around.
All right, Adam Duxter at the Janesville Gazette tonight. Adam, thank you. Well, hope you're ready. Winter returning to southern Wisconsin this weekend.
And making new memories with people who are losing theirs. A new cafe looks to help more than 100,000 Wisconsin residents and their families dealing with memory loss.
RX Bar is recalling some of its popular protein bars.
The bars don't list peanuts on their ingredients, but the company says ingredients from a third party could contain peanuts. Now they've changed suppliers, but you will still want to check RX Bar's website for a full list of their recalled bars.
Annual water usage is down in Madison. It's dropped by 1 billion gallons in the last 6 years. The city hit a water conservation goal set back in 2006, calling for a 20% reduction in residential water use. Additionally, industrial water use is down 73% from 7 years ago. The departures of Oscar Mayer and Bimbo Bakeries have contributed to that reduction.
This level of water use 20 years ago was unthinkable. So we don't know how far it can go, to be honest. It's kind of an uncharted territory here. Madison should be very proud of what it's accomplished, but who knows where we can go.
Madison water utility officials say they will continue to work with people to further water use reduction.
Madison's newest memory cafe at the Museum of Contemporary Art is open. The monthly events are facilitated by the Alzheimer's and Dementia Alliance of Wisconsin. Cafes are described as fun ways for families to come together in a relaxed environment and talk, listen to music, play games, make crafts, and eat and drink. The hope is those activities help stimulate the minds of people living with memory loss.
Sometimes they can't even find the words, but they know they want to say something. So the arts works as a bridge to help them express themselves when they can't use their words.
For a full list of all memory cafes offered in the dozen counties across our viewing area, head to our website, channel3000.com.
All right, we know some weather's coming our way, and Gary joins us with the very latest on what we can expect. Gary?
Yeah, we've got alert days in the forecast for tomorrow, for Saturday and Sunday. We've been showing this for the last couple of days, but we're looking for light snow to develop late tomorrow afternoon. Steady snow will continue tomorrow night with several inches of accumulation. Could be as much as 5 or 6 inches down toward the Illinois state line, maybe only an inch or two up toward the Dells. Then that snow will taper to flurries early in the morning. There could be some additional minor accumulations around an inch or so, especially near the state line. And then blowing and drifting snow could be an issue as winds pick up and then the colder air pours in, so that by Sunday morning, low temperatures will be near zero, but wind chills could be from 10 to 20 below zero in spots. And this is what we're talking about as far as snow totals after looking at all the computer models, about 4 to 7 inches down toward the Illinois state line, about 2 to 5 inches in and around the Madison area, and then lesser amounts up to the north toward the Dells. Now tonight we have some snow showers and flurries that are moving through. Those are going to be out of here pretty quickly, and I think later on tonight skies will actually clear out for a time before the clouds start moving in ahead of our winter storm. In fact, winter storm warnings are in effect from Crawford and Grant counties to the west through much of Iowa into southern Minnesota. Winter weather advisories on the northern tier of that, and then to the south there are winter storm watches for a little bit more questionable snow amounts from southern Wisconsin into northern Illinois. Some of the computer models, like the RPM model that we use for our day-to-day forecasting, still only showing less than an inch in Madison, but as much as 7 inches in Dubuque, Iowa, just to the south of Grant County. So that would be a pretty big gradient as far as going from no snow to pretty heavy snowfall in the southern parts of our viewing area. European computer model has been pretty steady right now, about 6 or 7 inches near the state line, about 3 inches or 4 inches in the Madison and Milwaukee areas, lesser amounts to the north. And then the US GFS computer model showing about 5 inches in Madison, about 7 inches to the south, and maybe 2 to 3 inches farther to the north. So you can see how we came up with that estimate, just kind of averaging those three together because they've been pretty consistent in their own ways. So we'll see how it all works out. Live view from the Edgewater Sky Camp, just a few flurries out there right now. High today 31, the low 22, and right now we're at 29 degrees with some flurries at the airport, winds out of the northwest at 3 miles per hour. Temperatures range from the teens in the northern part of the Midwest to around freezing in the Chicago area. Our upper level winds right now are from the west, but notice the big storm system moving onshore in California. This is actually the big storm that'll be moving eastward and will buckle the jet stream to allow colder air to start dropping southward, while the main part of the storm continues to shift northeastward with more moisture. A couple of areas of low pressure out to the west. That's where the storm is starting to develop, and it'll take a path down near the Ohio River, so just a little farther south than what we would expect for a normal big winter storm here in southern Wisconsin. So that's why we're expecting the heaviest snows farther to the south in northern Illinois. Look at the difference in temperatures, though. Single digits near zero near the U.S.-Canadian border, almost 50 in southern Kansas. And so on future track, you can see the little break in the clouds overnight, the first batch of light snow reaching us late tomorrow afternoon. Notice the heavier snow tracks just to our south, but still light snow or occasionally moderate snow into southern Wisconsin through early Saturday morning. And then after that, the cold air starts to pour down as this storm system pulls out. We'll look for wind chills by Sunday morning down to around 10 to 20 below zero. A little passing weather system Sunday night, and then the next weather system starting to develop out to the west could bring us more snow accumulations as we head from, say, Monday afternoon into Tuesday of next week. So winter storm warnings for southwestern Wisconsin, winter weather advisories, Dane County and areas to the northwest and east, and winter storm watches to the south from late tomorrow into Saturday morning. 18 for the overnight low temperatures. The flurries end and skies turn partly cloudy overnight. The clouds move back in for tomorrow, and we'll see snow develop by late afternoon with a high of 26. You can see that little bit of clearing overnight. By morning, the clouds are already starting to move in. Then the snow reaches us by about this time tomorrow, continues through tomorrow night, and then winds down on Saturday morning. Some flurries still a possibility, maybe some blowing and drifting snow on Saturday. And again, the heaviest amounts to the south of Madison, lighter amounts to the north, about 2 to 5 inches here in and around the Madison area. 7 to 10 day forecast. After the snow, the temperatures turn colder for the weekend. Again, another system to watch late Monday into Tuesday and early Wednesday of next week. That'll be followed by another shot of cold air toward the end of next week.
We hit the ice for tonight's Prep Mania game of the week, and the Badgers hope to start a little faster when Michigan comes to town. Sports is next.
Hi, I'm Michelle Carolla. Tonight on the news at 9, a new study says veterinarians face a higher rate of suicide compared to other professions. We'll break that down. It's first on Fox at 9.
It's Puck Night in tonight's Prep Mania game of the week. One of the top 5 teams in the state playing host to a team that's coming off its first conference hiccup of the season. Jay Wilson, Bill Brophy, our number 1 line, has a preview of tonight's action. Good evening, gentlemen.
Hi there, Kevin, and good evening, everyone. Yeah, it feels like hockey tonight, and a pretty good non-conference matchup as Edgewood faces Sun Prairie. Both teams are still in contention to win conference championships, but there's probably more to do with tournament seeding on the line tonight as the Crusaders meet the Cardinal. Let's bring in Bill Brophy back with us for our hockey game tonight. And Brophy, Sun Prairie, as Kevin mentioned, ranked 4th in the state. What makes the Cardinals such a good team?
Well, they're deep. As you say, they lost a pair of games to Verona, as did Edgewood. So both these teams probably fighting for that second seed for a tournament that starts in, 5 weeks from tonight. But you talk about Sun Prairie, they got a good player. And Bennett Hallbley, who's got 19 goals. He's been their leading scorer the last 3 years. He's played with the same line mates for the last 3 years. But they've got a lot of depth behind Hallbley, and that's what makes them so good. They got beat by Edgewood last year in the sectional semifinals, so you got the revenge factor here. But with Hallbley, with his line mates, Travis Kernan and Caden Brunson, you've got one of the best lines in the state, and you'll see them dangle tonight. They've accounted for about 45% of the Sun Prairie goals.
For Edgewood, their leading scorer is T-Bone Weiss. Yeah, that's what it says in the program. T-Bone. I remember he was growing up, they used to call him T. Now he's T-Bone. 32 goals for the Crusaders, so he'll certainly look to add to that total tonight. A little later start than usual, 7:45 after the JV game here in Sun Prairie, but we'll have Edgewood and Sun Prairie, 7:45 on channel3000.com live tonight. Hope to see you then. Kevin, back to you.
Jay, thank you very much. Brophy, the stat man, I love it every single time. The Badger men's basketball team has lost 4 of 5 games heading into Saturday's matchup with number 2 Michigan. Their recent first halves haven't helped. Greg Gard's team might have hit first half rock bottom Monday against Maryland when they put up 15 before recess. Badgers can't afford to stumble out of the gate if they want to stick around against the 17-0 Wolverines.
I think the biggest thing is, what are we doing on our possession? What type is the quality of our shot? Really good. Second half, we got really good shots. Didn't make them all, but we get the quality of the shots we got were much higher than what we had in the first half. Much better decisions in the second half, and that had to do with, obviously with shot selection was a big part of it.
Only 3 wins separate first to last in the Big Ten men's hockey standings. The Badgers open the second half of the season with a Friday-Sunday series with Notre Dame at the Kohl Center and United Center, respectively. Wisconsin head coach Tony Granato thinks his team can be the one that gains some consistency and makes a run starting this weekend.
We played some very consistent hockey before the break. We're going to have to get back to that. 4 weeks off and jumping into the Denver series and having the exhibition game here, we haven't really gotten back into the flow that we had before that. The schedule is going to be competitive, but I like where we're at, and obviously Friday night's going to be showtime, and hopefully we'll start the second half the way we finished the first half.
Number 1 Wisconsin women at Minnesota, and of course the Prep Mania game of the week tonight, 7:45, a little later on Channel 3000.
That's a good one, and Gary's back to explain a little more on this snow coming.
Yeah, we got the alert days in the forecast for tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday for snow, followed by the cold. Right now, some flurries moving through the eastern parts of our viewing area. They should be out of here in the next hour or so. That's what we're looking at snow-wise from late tomorrow afternoon through tomorrow night into early Saturday morning. Heaviest amounts down toward the Illinois state line. 7 to 10 day forecast, cold weather in the wake of the snow. Another system from late Monday into Tuesday and early Wednesday bears some watching because that could bring some additional accumulation, followed by more cold weather for the end of next week. Winter's here.
All right, Gary, thank you, and thanks for joining us for News 3 at 6.
Enjoy your evening, and we'll see you back here at 10.
Download the new Channel 3000 app and get alerted on your mobile device the minute news breaks. Wherever you go, be the first to know with Channel 3000.